Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's podcast where I'm joined by my first guest, Reid. Eirinn is a TikTok influencer, equestrian, and overall hilarious person that makes really relatable horse content. And I've been following her for a few years now, so I'm really excited to have a chat with her and to hear more about her journey and her amazing horse Twinkle. So before I get into the episode, please make sure that you like and subscribe and leave a comment on who you would like me to talk to next. And without further ado, let's get talking to Eirinn.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I
I'm
can.
trying to get this camera on. There you go. That's it. Is it working now? I've never been on Zoom before, so I was like, how the hell do I work this thing?
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
how has your morning been?
hectic. The weather is awful here. It has there's like 50-mile-per-hour winds, so
Wow.
so me trying to like get to the yard and back is like not working out at all. Doesn't
God.
work out. Ah,
Well, I thought I'd just, have a chat with you and get to know you and the horses a bit more.
yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, and also learn more about showing because I have no idea about showing.
Oh, don't know if you want to know about that.
But I guess that I've been following you for a few years now, and I found you on TikTok. So,
Yeah.
what kind of got you into TikTok, and how did it all begin?
TikTok was like, I don't know, I just kind of videos that I found funny, like say I had taken videos on Snapchat or something like that, and I'd sent them to my friends, and if I found them funny, I was just like, do you know what? I'm gonna post them on TikTok and like see if anybody else finds them funny.
Yeah,
And it just so happens that so many people actually found them funny, and like it just kind of popped off from there. Like it was crazy. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't honestly. It's like, wow, there's so much happened thanks to TikTok.
it's been a great app to have. I think it's changed social media for the better. I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's opened so many doors, not only for like people creating content, but like music, acting, everything like that. It's opened doors for so many other things. And it's like an education platform now. You can learn to cook on there.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've learned so much off of that. It's unbelievable, actually. But regarding content, do you like plan stuff, or do you just like record your day to day life? Just
I'm gonna be honest here, right? So the planned content that I create actually flops. Do you understand that? It actually
yeah,
flops. So the
actually,
content that I don't plan on creating, like these like these cool things that I put so much effort into, they don't do well. And then when it comes to the videos that I've taken off of Snapchat, like those go crazy. It's
yeah.
like, what's the point?
No, literally, I always find that the one that I spend like hours thinking about or editing or something, the one that do
Yeah.
bad, and then like a silly video that I took end up blowing up, and it's like, oh,
Yeah, mine is the exact same. Honestly, I can't. There's times I message my friends and I'm like, guys, I just want to give up TikTok now because it's just not working out. It's just, ah,
it is so random because it is the one that the videos that you think are just like rubbish are the ones that do so well.
yeah, yeah. The ones that you don't put any effort into, like, or videos that I've taken from the past, like videos to say I've taken videos from 2022 and put them in a video now. People love that, even though they've seen the video already. They still enjoy seeing it. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have one of the most famous horses on TikTok right now.
Yeah, he's like that shit's that's crazy. Honestly, I can't believe the stuff that like that has came from this blimmin' horse. Like, oh, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
So how does Twinkle feel about this? you think
How
she's enjoying the spotlight as well?
I think he's very he obviously knows that he's famous. You see him when you go. If I take him to a show, you see him like, oh, I'm here, guys, back off. I'm the pretty boy, and he always makes himself known, whether it's making an embarrassment out of me, or like just trying to look pretty, or it's yeah, he knows, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Okay, so if you could describe Twinkle as like a personality, how would you describe him?
Oh my gosh. There's this running joke that me and my friends have got just now because I have ADHD. We say that Twinkle's like the reflection of me. So we say he's got nay DHD. So I would say like I know it's not a word, but it kind of like it's yeah unpredictable. I would probably say a little spicy. Yeah, there's a lot of things in there that you could call Twinkle, but it's hard to narrow them down.
Okay, and what is one of your favorite memories then with Twinkle?
Oh, gosh, there's so many, so many. I think it might be. I'm actually not sure about that, Tegan, because there's so many great memories I have with him. But I think it takes me back to when I was like 18, 19. Sorry, I'll just turn this off. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, it takes me back to when I was like 18, 19, and I just have so many fond memories of cantering through fields, like just exploring, like out for hours exploring, things like that. That kind of stuff sticks with me. Um, I would say like shows and stuff like that. Shows are a big part of it, and I do have so many great memories, and continue to make so many great memories at shows. But like I think it's just the little heart to heart moments with them is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's so true because actually that is the one thing that I missed this year. It's just like going on a hack rather than training and just like being
Yeah,
stupid and going off randomly and not really knowing where I'm going and like those
yeah, yeah.
that I miss more now. But yeah, I totally agree with you. And let's kind of talk about showing and riding in general. So, what inspired you to compete in competition shows, and what do you enjoy most about showing?
Um, the inspiring side of it, I don't know. I know myself, I hate being judged. I think everybody's like that. We hate being judged. And it is so crazy that we go out there and pay someone to judge us.
It,
Um, so I don't know. I feel like showing is the inspiration of showing is to make everything seem effortless, if you know what I mean. You go in the ring, you look the bomb, you look amazing, your
it,
horse looks amazing, and you try and almost create this in sync looking duo, if you know what I mean. You want to I know it's kind of like a dressage vibe, but it's completely different. Um it's you're not sort of being judged on individual movements, you're being judged on like how you look, how the horse is going, does the horse fit the criteria that their breed describes them as, or maybe their section, like their hunters, like their weight that describes them. So I think the inspiration part of it is just looking that picture perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like looking the part. But I mean, you can look the part in any sport, but it's just the perfection side of showing is kind of like, I love that. Yeah, I would say that.
yeah, and yeah, it is similar to dressage in a way that we have
Yeah.
to look very nice and well right and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, your showing is insane. Like the way that you turn out horses. I
They're such catfishes.
them
They're
so
cat
nice. I
they're
mean,
catfish.
it's like in England, but weather and like rain and mud. Like, how do you deal with all that? Getting them show ready.
It is hard. I mean, over the winter time, I like to let my horses be horses because there's no point in they've gave me everything they've got during the summer. They've given me we've traveled the country and stuff like that. And I usually my main time of the year to start preparing to get ready for showing is sort of like February, March. So I'll maybe do my last clip. I'll maybe clip hat like I'll do a full clip, but I won't take the legs off or I won't take the face off. And in March and February, I'll say, right, I'm gonna take the whole coat off just so the coat is flush and it comes in by the coat's in by April and it's a this nice summer coat. Um, so I think in a sense of like they're horses over the winter, and then when it comes to that start of show season, uh, that's when we just get to go ahead to go right. Winter hair off, and let's get you looking pretty. Uh, yeah, I think that's kind of what happens that sort of situation.
But I really admire you guys because your horses always look fabulous.
They don't just now. They don't just now.
No, but it's definitely love now because it's winter and it's mud and no horses look good in this month. So
No, definitely not. Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah, I agree.
And have you had any like hard times or challenges when you're competing? Like what can go wrong? How do you fix it? That
Yeah, I mean, in the context of hard times, I think in every equestrian discipline, there's always going to be something, or not necessarily something, or someone that gives you a hard time. And as hard as it is at that moment, you have to remember that you can always push past that. But there has been some really hard times I've had. Where I've won a class and someone hasn't agreed with the judging and saying that I shouldn't have won the class, or there's been times where people have sort of made comments on my horse from the side of the ring when really I'm paying for someone to give me feedback on my horse. I'm not paying the spectators to judge my horse. I'm paying the judge to judge my horse. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of things in showing, especially like you lose friends all the time, you gain friends. It's hard when you're competing against friends as well because you'll know yourself, Tegan. Horses, when it comes to competing, some people are very competitive. Um, and when you cross as and it's as well as it's an individual, it's not like you've got like a whole football team behind you. It's just you and your horse
yeah.
competing against somebody else and their horse. It's an individual sport. Um, so yeah, I think that can cause a little bit of upsets if you're competing against people that think they're better than you or you think you're better than them. It's just clashes. It clashes a lot. But yeah, there's been some hard times. There's been some hard times.
Well, yeah, I think that is the same for all disciplines that it, it is such an individual sport and
Yeah, yeah.
and everyone's going in it for the same goal and the same
Mhm.
reasons. And no matter how hard we try, we do care about how we end up or our progress or
Yeah, yeah,
case. So it is understandable, but yeah, it is a very hard sport to keep
yeah.
friends in, especially when you're against them.
It gets competitive. I mean, you look at TikTok now and it's people comparing hats. This is the new thing. Everybody has these fancy hats. Now, I wouldn't go out and spend like thousands of pounds on a hat. It's gonna make me look pretty. It's safety. Do you know what I mean? Like it's or if it's like you've got the best clothes or who's got this or who's got that. we're all aiming for the same thing. Do you know, we all want to do the same thing. Why not just like cheer each other on instead of bringing everybody down?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think that'll be a goal for next year that people will be more happy for everyone.
Happy.
Yeah, actually there to enjoy the sport that we love, not not argue or compare or just enjoy the sport for what it is. And speaking of next year, do you have any like goals that you would like to achieve with Twinkle or any other horses that you might be riding?
Um, so next year is kind of like a year that I actually did all my like New Year's resolutions last night on the phone with my friend, and it's gonna be a weird year because I've got well, she's going to be 3. So I've got a 3-year-old Welsh cob, and it's going to be her last year as a youngster, being shown in the young stock category. So I think my year is going to be full of running with a young a young horse round the ring, and not so much riding. But I really want to adventure into working hunter and do a little bit more jumping, spice things up a little bit with the horses because
Yeah,
doing the same thing, looking pretty all the time, can't be very satisfying. So I'm going to do a little bit of different stuff. I really want to try dressage. And of course, I'm never going to give up showing, but I think I'm going to lay off the showing a little bit. I'm going to stand back a little bit. Um, but competing's not everything, if you know what I mean. I enjoy going out competing and stuff, but it's not everything. It's more like a socializing rather than a competition.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had this weird saying where like I always say I can't wait until I retire the horses and like that's just like enjoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think when you're in such a like cycle of competitions, it can get a bit boring or a bit the same or a bit like you lose the fun of it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I've always said that when I retire and I can just like get on, just go. I can't wait for that day.
no, I completely agree. I completely agree. I find myself though, I know like a lot of people take showing really seriously, and there is times where like if I have a big competition, I'll take it, I'll take the preparation really seriously and I'll get myself hyped up and I'll do this, and but at the same time, I'm like, do you know what? I'm gonna put my horse in the horse box and I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna let her enjoy herself, or do you know, I find myself doing that quite a lot over the last couple of years, just saying, do you know what? I've got this Hoyt qualifier this week. I'm going to take her to the beach the weekend before and do something fun with her and just, and it always seems to like refresh their brains so they're not like work, work, work,
Yeah.
which is quite nice.
Well, it's good for them, but it's also good for us to get us
Oh God, yeah,
like
yeah,
actually enjoying it again and wanting to do more. And
yeah.
yeah, fingers crossed I'll get to do more of that this year too.
Yeah, 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 definitely.
Okay, the podcast name is That's Wild. So I'm wondering if you had a wild story that you might be able to share.
A wild story.
Yeah.
Oh, uh, oh my gosh. I don't even know. That's kind of like risky. That's risky, Tegan. Um, I have so many, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I never used to be. This is pretty wild. So when I was growing up, I had no interest in horses whatsoever. I did when I was like really young. I always admired like horses. But I had no interest whatsoever in horses, and uh, I just wasn't the person I was now. And I don't even want. I used to be. I don't know that actually. Yeah, I used to be like one of those that you would see that followed the trends and used to go about with like 30 people and got into trouble and Yeah, I was pretty like I wasn't a very I would say I was a nice person, but to other people it maybe not looked like a nice person. But yeah, I would say that's like my wild no, I do have wild stories, but I'm not gonna like share some I'm gonna share some of them. Um but yeah, that I would say that's probably my wild story. Or I've met all my friends off a TikTok.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
another that's another wild story. I don't know what else. I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know.
That's fine. That is a very good love story. Um, but I only had three more questions. But
Okay.
one of them was, how do you balance like the writing life, the social life, and then like the content life?
I think I'm pretty blessed to have like all my friends be social, like socially active on social media, um, and also in person as well. And they're all sort of horsey, sort of a little bit horsey. So I think I'm quite blessed with having all of that in one. But managing it all it can be stressful, especially when like there was a time where I was partnering up with this brand, and we kind of did a lot of stuff, and I kind of lost touch with everybody just at the start of this year. Actually, I kind of just lost contact with a few people, um, and then a few months went by, and I kind of had to pick everything up back, like pick everything up again. But there's so yeah, it's hard, but we get there. We get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then regarding like social media, do you think it had a positive impact on like people learning about the equestrian world and like what it actually is and what we do as sport?
Yeah, so that's a great, honestly, that's a great question because I like to think of my content being there's a that it's a different side to horses. It's not always compete and do this, do that. I don't you don't need to take it serious. And the whole point of my page is kind of like the unserious side of everything. Uh, it's all funny stuff. It's all things that we can relate to that maybe we shouldn't relate to, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I don't post to boast. I post to like make people smile, make people happy, make people laugh. Um, yeah, I would say that's a good way of saying what I do.
Yeah, I love that because I do think it can get very like serious and competition based, but actually seeing the day to day and like the normal stuff is what
Yeah.
nice to see. So
I really just post my horses being silly. Like that's
yeah,
people love that. People love it. So
they do. And for any, well, what advice would you give to anyone wanting to start showing or riding horses or being with horses in any way?
take the plunge. It is the best thing I ever did. If you lack confidence, the horses give you confidence. It is great for it is proven great for mental health. I think everybody has, um, even if you're scared of horses, it brings something out in you away from your sort of horse life. It brings something out in you in your real life situation. I always say when I'm with my horses, I'm a completely different person. You know, like you'll see me in the street and maybe I won't say hi, or maybe I'll just walk past you and be like, I don't know that people. But at horse shows, when I'm with my horse, or if I'm out with my horse, I'll speak to people. I'll say hi, good morning, or I feel like horses bring out a different person. I don't know if you can relate to that, Tegan, or not, but
Yeah, they do. Well, I feel like whenever I'm on the yard or with the horses, it's like nothing else in the world matters. So like
yeah,
I don't care about anything as much as what I did without the
yeah.
horse.
You forget everything. You forget you're even like, you forget you're like you're burning your dinner or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you forget
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. You forget what's going on in the outside world, and you're just sitting there like, it's fine, everything's great. I'm with my horse.
yeah. You were
Yeah,
doing well, and it's great. Yeah.
I agree.
Well, that was all my questions really. So thank you so much for having
No worries.
me. And I guess where can everyone find you on social media? What's your
Yeah, I'm on TikTok and Instagram, so y'all can check me out on Instagram and TikTok.
great? Thank you so much. And
No, thank you, Tegan. It was great.
hopefully we'll get to meet in person Sunday.
I know, I know. I do plan on doing like a lot more events like down south and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
it's so weird being up in Scotland. I do the same shows all the time, the same people, the same judges, the same horses. It's like you want to do more. I want to go see the world.
yeah. Go travel.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Hopefully we'll see you somewhere down south soon.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Well, thank you so much. And yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.